Hey everybody, it's Kim Rodriguez here with my show, Dream Again, where I feature successful women sharing real and personal stories of experiences that shaped their life and took them on a road to success so that they could find the energy to dream again. And today, I just want to introduce you to me so that you can learn a little bit more about myself. I'm Kim, and I have 7 kids. So I'm a mom. I am a realtor. I am a real estate investor. I am a sister. I am a friend. I am a boss. And I'm here to encourage and inspire you ladies to dream again. So, first, I want to tell you a little bit more about my background. Where did I come from? Well, you know, um, I grew up in a mixed, I guess grew up in a mixed race family. I didn't think of it like that until just now. But my dad was a white, I don't know if this is appropriate to talk about, but I'm just going to be real because that's who I am. I'm real. So my dad, a white, I guess, Irish Catholic, and my mom, a Spanish Catholic. And my grandfather was a Southern boy from the Southern Baptist Church in Kentucky. And my grandmother and my whole mom's family is all Spanish. So it's an interesting mix. And I got a lot of opportunities to try different things and meet different people and understand different viewpoints. And I originally grew up in a town where a lot of the people looked like me. So my mom really stood out among the crowd. And everyone liked her, especially me. But we didn't have the easiest of life. My dad gambled. He worked hard, but he gambled. And my mom ended up being sick most of my, you know, childhood. She ended up having cancer and was sick for a very, very long time. So if it wasn't for my grandparents, I think that it probably would have been a lot worse. But they helped bring that stability to our family. And I also learned how to grow up pretty quickly. So I didn't have a lot of time to be a kid. Uh, and I guess that's why I'm here today is over the years, I've learned many things, and I have it in my heart to help women and children and families. Um, and in this episode, I really just want you to know more about me. So back to my story. A little bit of a rough childhood. We had a home. We moved quite a bit. We moved from Massachusetts to Kentucky, back to Massachusetts, back to Kentucky. And we didn't have we initially had a physical single family home. And then we lived with my grandparents. We lived in apartments and um, moving around a lot, as a kid kind of makes you feel um, unsure, but you have to become resilient. You have to go with the flow. So I learned how to adapt and flow, um, although it was a little scary. Uh, and then with my mom being sick, you know, when I grew up, or my parents, they didn't really talk to me about what it meant. All I knew was that she had cancer. So when you're a kid, and even when you're an adult and you hear that diagnosis, you're like, oh my God, you think, the worst. And and I don't and she survived a long time, but we went through a lot. And I remember encouraging her when she was like not feeling well, and I didn't really know how she felt because I was just worried that she wasn't going to be alive the next day. And and I would try to like raise her spirits, and I would have her, you know like say, Mom, look in the mirror and just say how beautiful, like, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. And she's like, I don't know if I can do that, Kim. I go, you know what? Just try it for one day. Just look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. And so I let it go and it said, and then the next day, she must have done it all day. And so when I came home, she was so happy and such in a good mood. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And she goes, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. And her and my dad were laughing. And I was like, wow, just looking in the mirror and telling yourself you're beautiful can have a tremendous impact on your personal well-being. Like I was just like shocked. So I that moment I think helped me understand the power of words and how important it is to have positive self-talk and to understand how people must be feeling, right? And I think as a kid that was kind of interesting that I kind of knew that. Um, but I was just so happy because she was happy. This is not what I thought was going to happen right now. So, anyways, stay positive. And luckily, even though she had cancer when I was a kid, and we went through a lot, and I had to help with cooking and cleaning and taking care of my brothers and working and helping support the family. Um, she survived. She survived cancer several times. She had reoccurrences, and she lived until her 70s and passed away in on March 4th, which I think is significant for me to remind me that even though she's no longer here, she lived a long life. And all of us as women, as sisters, that no matter what happens in your life, you have to march forth and carry things forward. And there are ups, there are downs, and life is certainly interesting. And I don't want you to waste it, and I don't want to waste my life. So, hopefully, I can share some of these stories with you. Hopefully, I can talk to other women who have had struggles, and we can lift each other up. We can learn from what's brought us down, and we can build stronger, healthier, loving, happy communities and families because relationships are truly what make this world go round. When I was younger, I used to think that I held everything in. And I mean, I did that like now, even still, I have, that's something I'm a work in progress. But I would hold everything in, scared to share what I was going through because I knew I needed help, but I didn't want to bother anyone because my parents really didn't have that capacity. So I didn't want to be a burden. So that carried through high school, college. I didn't want to be a burden. I wanted to do, I could take care of it. I figured I could take care of it. Whatever problem there was, I could deal with it, which is a good thing because, in a way, because I didn't crumble when there was a problem. I moved forward, but I think I could have moved forward much faster and with less internal uh, conflict and better understanding if I could have shared that more. So it took me time to start sharing that information and sharing my troubles or struggles or challenges to really propel myself to move forward. And how that played out is for me, I struggled a lot with relationships, with a man, right? And in work, in the beginning, I struggled out like I was working and I would always do well because I worked so hard that I would always get results because I was so focused, because I wanted that, I think, acknowledgement. I wanted to do a good job. I wanted not to be a burden to anyone. I wanted to help other people, help the people I worked for, and of course, make money. And doing that, um, I learned that people, some might have perceived me as cold, or all that I thought about was work, or they didn't know because I was just so focused on work that there was nothing else in my life. But there was other things in my life. But when at work, I was all about work. So I got into leadership positions in the corporate world. And it wasn't until I realized how important relationships were that you can't have all work and no play, right? You have to have a balance in your life of work and fun and health and spirituality. And I learned to talk to different people and uh, help other people learn and grow in their careers. And that's what I found a little bit later in my career. And that's really when I escalated my leadership, my ability to build strong teams, and to work together for the good of all, not just a isolated result or one goal. So let's circle back to, why am I doing this show? Because I want to know you. I want to talk to you. I want to have an impact on the world. I want us to work together to understand where we came from, help you and your family be stronger. And, maybe we can laugh, maybe we can smile, maybe we'll cry together, but hopefully all of us will be better in the end. Expect some variety, expect some fun, expect that once a week we'll do a live show and I'll invite a different guest on. So if you have anybody you'd love to hear from, or a woman that you know that has a great success story that you feel we should share and that we can learn from, I'd love to meet her. I'd love to meet you. And I'd love to have you on our show so that together we can dream again.